friends. It's Jerome, the generous chicken. He likes to care, and he likes to share. He's Jerome, the generous chicken. Jerome, Jerome, generous chicken. Jerome, Jerome, he's always giving. Don't be late, don't hesitate. It's Jerome, the generous chicken. Strap on your shoes and shake off your blues. It's Jerome, the generous chicken. Jerome, Jerome, generous chicken. Jerome, Jerome, he's always giving. Jerome.
Jerome loved to pray. He loved to talk to God. He'd walk down the street praying. He'd be eating seed and praying. He would go to the church and he would pray. He'd pray before bed and he would pray when he woke up in the morning. He would even pray in the shower. Sometimes he'd be talking to people and would secretly pray to God at the same time. He would just do it in his head. He loved to talk to God and thank God for things. He would ask God for help and for courage when he had something hard to do. And when he thought of his friends, he would pray to God for them. He was always close to God and found that this helped him to be so generous all the time. But then one day, he was with his friend George and a new guy called Sal. Tyrell was also there. They saw some kids they didn't know, and Sal said, "Look at these dorks. Let's go have a laugh at them." Jerome was unsure. Let's just go play some sport instead, he suggested. But Sal insisted, "Come on, it's no big deal. It'll be fun." So they went over to the girls and started picking on them. Sal called one ugly and said another one couldn't talk properly. None of it was true, but Sal liked saying these things just to upset them and see their reaction. At first the girls tried to defend themselves, but Sal was so nasty that eventually one of them started to cry. And then Sal, George, Tyrell and Jerome left them. Jerome felt so bad. He tried to tell himself that it was Sal who had said the bad things, but he knew that he could have stopped him, and instead he just went along with it. He had even laughed at some of Sal's mean jokes. Jerome walked home sad, and this time he didn't pray. A voice in his head told him, "You've been bad. God doesn't want to talk to you. You're not good enough to pray." And so Jerome stopped praying. The next day, George came over to see Jerome. George was completely happy, but he could see that Jerome wasn't. "What's up?" he asked. "Well, remember yesterday how we picked on those girls and made them feel bad?" Jerome said. "Well, now I feel I can't pray to God because I've been so rotten, and I miss it." George nodded. "Yeah, I felt the same," he said. "But then that's just it. God knows we can be bad, and that is why he sent his son Jesus to save us. Jesus took our punishment, so all we have to do is pray and ask God for forgiveness. Jesus saves us so that we can pray when we've been bad. He died so that our badness wouldn't get in the way of us being close to God. How did Jerome forget this? It is when he is messed up that he needs to pray to God the most. Jerome told George he needed a minute and that he would catch up with him. When he was alone, he began to pray, and he told God what he had done and how he had been a coward and mean, and that he was sorry. Immediately he knew that he was forgiven and that God would help to make him strong the next time. He ran and caught up with George. And once again, Jerome felt close to God as they walked and played and shot hoops. Never again would Jerome be too scared to pray to God.
Like a bird needs its feathers to fly through all this crazy weather. You're